Guys, are you there? I couldn't remember how to get into this thing. Oh no. Oh, hold on. Something's making noise. Oh, oh. Okay, I have two windows. I have like 8 windows open. Oh, I'm a hot mess. Okay. Hi. I think I got this. I think I got this. Um, did YouTube change while I was gone? I couldn't figure out how to get in. Um, I don't know. There's like a studio thing and the main site, and I couldn't find the link where I normally like hit go live. Like I could get into the link. I'm not making any sense. And I could see you guys chatting, but there was nothing that said like go live now. No sound. I just checked the sound. Can you guys hear me? Um Hello, hello. Just confirm you hear me. Okay. So if you can't hear me, it's you. It's not me, it's you. Um, so much to catch up on. It's been so long. I forgot how to use YouTube. I got myself a Coke Zero because we're just gonna like settle in here and have a little chat. Cheers, everyone. Hi, Belinda. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we have so much to catch up on. Because let's see, what day is it? What year is it? What time is it? It's Thursday, August 13th, 2020. And I went on vacation on August 2nd, which was the day after the big Patreon release this month. So we haven't even gotten to talk about the picnic top. We haven't talked about the picnic skirt. We haven't talked about my knitting. We haven't talked about my new hairstyle. We haven't talked about my vacation. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about. Should we talk about my hair first? Because I'm really excited. Melisha, you like it? Guys, this has been my dream hairstyle for years now. It's been 84 years. For years now. Is Missy here? So we've been trying to Missy and I have like tried to recreate this hairstyle from Ginger Rogers wore it in the movie Top Hat. And if you Google Ginger Rogers Top Hat, you'll see her wearing this twist with a center part and kind of like a little bump down here. So I mean, she did a beautiful version of this on me for the princess coat, you know, that silk, the floral silk princess coat. I was wearing this, and also for the Stanwyck and Hepburn photos. And we did a thing where she did clip-in extensions and then twisted them with my actual hair. But I've wanted for years just like a pin-in hair piece that I could make this happen on my own really quickly. Oh no, this is not my own hair. So I have recently placed a couple orders with Stevie Rosalie. Do you guys follow her on Instagram? I ordered a Barbie ponytail from her, which is stunning. I've been wearing it in my YouTube and Patreon videos recently. It's a huge ponytail. It's not the one I got from Amazon for $10, though I really like that one too. And I ordered some little bumper bangs from her that just clip in. And when I got them, I was like so impressed with them and like the color matching she did and the work she does that I said, hey, oh, and here's how the idea came about. She had sent me like as a little gift a little twist, much smaller than this, with like an elastic in the back. So like those sort of like boho style, like you put it on and then you just kind of like, it's just like an elastic headband. Does that make sense? So then I started thinking, hey, like this is really close to what I want, but I want it to be huge. Like I want a huge twist. And I don't want to have the elastic at the back because I want to do a center part. And in the end, I probably could have done the elastic at the back because I had to roll my hair up over it. But anyway, I wanted it to pin in so that then I could kind of like configure it in different ways rather than just it being like a headband. So anyway, I told her my fantasy. I sent her a picture. I actually didn't send her the Ginger Rogers picture. I sent another one with a bigger twist. And she sent this to me. Isn't it gorgeous? So I can't recommend her enough. And it's exactly what I wanted. And now I have all sorts of ideas for other hair pieces I want. So I'm just like, I'm going to keep you very busy, Stevie. I hope you don't have other work you need to attend to. Yeah, so I finally have my fantasy hair, and it was really easy to do on my own. I basically just did a center part. I put this little crown on top, pinned it inside on the sides, and then like rolled up the back of my hair to hide the little ends of the twist. Um, oh my gosh, I can't, guys. She needs to do my next thing first. She's gonna be busy. She's gonna be busy. Oh my God, Melisha, can I tell that story? So Melisha tried to help me make one of these once, and I bought some like loose hair, like basically like loose human hair. I went to it's actually called like urban hair or something. I don't remember what this in Poughkeepsie. And the only thing I could find that I thought might make a suitable twist, I was like, I'm gonna make my own. I'll just buy a bunch of hair and twist it. How hard can it be? Okay, so I tried it first. I got this like loose human hair, and you have to get the silky texture. Okay, I'll just say it. If you're white, you need like silky texture almost always, like my hair. I don't know. I can't speak for everyone's hair, but I will say you need to get this like silky texture, and it's like water. Okay, it slips through your hands. Yeah, it's like a bag of loose human hair, everyone. And it just like slips through your hands. I was like trying to twist it. And like Melisha's really good with hairstyles. And I was just like, she came over to film one day and I was like, can you help me? I've like ruined this bag of hair, like beyond recognition. And she really tried. She tried to braid it for me. And I had just messed it up so much at that point. And it was so hard to work with that it's not Melisha's fault. It's my fault because I ruined this like human hair. Like, and I was pretty upset with myself because I was like, someone like, how long did it take this woman like to grow that hair? And then in an hour, I like ruined it. Oh yeah, I know. I'm sure I've switched to faux human hair since then, which is plastic, and I'm sure it's bad for its own reasons. But human hair. So yeah, it was a nightmare. I don't want to know what happened to the poor woman who made that hair grow on her head, and then I ruined it. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, woman. And thank you, Melisha, for trying to help me. Anyway, that's all to say, I finally have the hair of my dreams. And if you think you're gonna just twist some human hair or like twist a bag of hair that you get at the hair store, it's not like, unless you're a professional, just trust me, it's not that easy. All right. Cheers, everyone, to bags of human hair. Okay, so that's the story about my hair. If you guys inundate Stevie before I have a chance to make my next request, that's it. Just kidding. Well, yeah, you do have to attach it to something, and we did tie the ends, but it was so slippery that it just kept coming out of whatever we tied it to. So it was really like no jokes. Like, it was like the only way to describe it, it was just like water. It was just like hair everywhere. So my vacation was great. Thank you for asking, Shayna. So I went to Provincetown it was supposed to be 7 days, and I ended up extending my trip. And I go every year with friends, and I was really excited to go this year. Didn't know if it was going to happen, and obviously because of the pandemic, thought that it might not. But we ended up deciding to go for a few reasons. And I saw you guys I saw you guys talking about like lockdowns and stuff like that. So I did just want to mention like what the situation was with me traveling, because I know I've been like a big proponent of everyone staying home and sewing. And I will just say that my situation was that we have been, I live in New York State. So we, as you probably know, were some of the earliest, hardest hit with the pandemic. And Melisha and I started quarantining like March 13th. And we were in like hardcore lockdown. I didn't go anywhere for 4 months. So very serious, like not going to the studio, not going to the grocery store, like groceries delivered, like very much I'll just say it, hardcore quarantining. So that's been the reality for the past 4 months. And the other reality in New York State is that it's getting much better here. I feel really thankful that we have a really great governor, Governor Cuomo, who handled this really well. And do I live with Melisha? Oh, no, we don't live together. That's so funny. Anytime we do a shoot, like in my house, I'm gonna think people are gonna think we're like in a relationship. We are in a relationship, just not that kind. So Melisha lives with her family. So, and I live in Beacon in my own house. So anyway, what was I getting at? Okay, so I also want to say, like, we're really lucky that the cases in New York have declined like crazy. So we're in a really great place right now with new COVID cases. And we're finally at a place where we're having no COVID deaths, which is amazing. And if you see what's happening in the rest of the country, you will know that that's not the case everywhere by far. It's actually really scary here in the US. So I did just want to like tell you guys what the deal was. And the other part of the deal is that Massachusetts, where I travel, is in a similar situation. Like Boston and that area was hard hit early on and has been declining. And there are state travel restrictions here in the US. And New York is one of the few places that you could actually travel to Massachusetts and not have a mandatory 14-day quarantine. So that was also really lucky that we were able to travel there. And New York is considered a low risk state right now, which is pretty amazing. So that's why I traveled. I tried to keep it a little bit quiet because I really do support people, if you're in a high risk area, staying home and quarantining and all that. So anyway, yeah, Arizona is not great. My mom's in Arizona. My brother's in Houston. I mean, I think we all have, family members, places where it's just not looking good. So the other thing is Provincetown, where I go for vacation, has there was a New York Times article about it recently, actually right before I left, saying that the safety measures being taken there were like beyond. And there's a mandatory mask zone in the city center, and businesses were at reduced capacity and everyone was being really careful. And so we decided to go, and it was great. I felt very safe there. And we were able to do things like, get an Airbnb and go out to dinner, outside seating and stuff like that. And even some of the shops, all the shops were open almost, but, they would be at like reduced capacity to the point where like only 2 customers would be allowed in at a time. And you would have to like sanitize your hands on the way in, the way out. And you had to there was like no getting away. I think in other parts of the country, people try to get away with not wearing a mask for some reason. And that was not the case there. So, all right. So I had a great vacation. It was obviously more mellow than other years in Provincetown. If you're not familiar with Provincetown, it's like very gay. There's a lot of drag shows. So if you're a drag fan, like Provincetown is one of the places to be in the summer because there are shows every night, but not this year. Though I will say I was able to see one show, and it was outside and everything was socially distanced. So we were all like 6 feet apart in our groups, and the queen was like way separated from us on stage, and everyone was wearing masks. And it was great, and it was my favorite queen, which I was really excited about. Dina Martina, who is not a Drag Race queen at all. You will never see Dina on Drag Race. She is not that kind of queen. But if you want to Google some of her YouTube videos, she is probably the funniest drag queen I have ever seen. And this was my 4th time seeing her. I see her in Provincetown every summer, and then she also does a Christmas show in New York City. So highly recommend her if you ever get a chance to see her. All right, so let's see, that's my vacation. Oh, so do you guys want to talk about the picnic top? So patterns, should we talk about patterns? The Patreon release this month is the picnic top, which I'm modeling right now. And Melisha and I were like really, once we got this idea in our heads, we were like gung-ho about this. In our fabric, yes, this is Marin's fabric. Anything with yellow roses is Marin's. That's the rule. So yeah, we got super gung-ho about the idea of doing a little separate button-up top with the square neckline and the little puff sleeves. I really like these puff sleeves because I don't know if you can tell on this top, but they end right here. So they're not set into the entire arm side. They end right here. So you have a like nice big range of movement, like so. And it buttons up, and it's fully lined, which is nice too. And so it comes in 2 lengths. This is the waist length version, which doesn't show any midriff skin at all. So I guess technically, no, I'm not even gonna say it. This is the waist length version. I'm trying to like clear up a lot of confusion about these legs. This is the waist length version, okay? It does not show skin. It should meet, if you're wearing like a high waist skirt, the finished edge should meet the waistband of your skirt. Here, I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna straighten my skirt. She can dance. So you can see like right here, and someone expressed concern about like, I wanna wear my Merry Widow with it. And I am wearing a Merry Widow right now, which you can see, I'll flash you. But it shouldn't show when you're wearing it. And if you wanted a little more length on it, there is a length adjustment line on the pattern that you can just cut and then gain a little bit more length. And then I am wearing, let me show you the back. Has a square neckline in the back. And then we really wanted to do a skirt to go with it, button front skirt. And we've been talking, Melisha, we've been talking about this one for years too, haven't we? Because we've wanted to do an overskirt style pattern that could go on top of your rompers, your lamorettas, all of that. So this is a button-up skirt with big pockets. It's a gathered skirt, huge 4-yard stretch of fabric that you gather into a waistband. And the picnic skirt is on YouTube. And so that's a free project. It's totally free to watch the full hour-long video, and you don't need a pattern. You basically cut rectangles to the dimensions you need for your body or whoever you're making it for. And then you sew it to those dimensions. So you don't need a pattern. And we did a downloadable instruction file because I know there's like a lot of math involved. You know how I feel about math. So there are things like, for the waistband, you need to be your waist measurement plus, 1.25 inches for seam allowances plus, an 1.5 inches for an overlap. So rather than making you listen to me and memorize all that, we made you a downloadable PDF so that you have illustrations to show you the exact dimensions that you need. So, um, that is the picnic skirt. That's the picnic top. And then so the other thing, did I say that the picnic top also has a cropped version, which is an 1.25 inches shorter than this one, and it's just meant to show a little midriff skin. So not like a ton, it's not like a little bra top, but it does just show, especially with a high waist skirt or like your Loretta shorts, it'll just show a little bit of saucy skin. Yeah, so that's it. Gathers for days. You like the video? I felt like I wasn't giving you enough last month when I had all of this coming. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you guys feel like you got a lot. Yeah, it's been a really fun month actually, and I really like the way that YouTube and Patreon have worked together. We were just talking about this on the phone earlier today, how it's cool having like the top on Patreon and the skirt on YouTube. So it's been like, it's not always going to be that way. Like it's usually totally unrelated projects, but having it be this way this month was really great. Yeah, the sleeves are super comfortable. You want to see my chicken dance again? Is that what you're angling for? I know you want it. Yeah. God. Don't do that. Oh yes. So was the photo shoot with Melisha fun? It was really fun. Melisha's laughing at me. So we had a really fun time shooting that set. We did it here in Beacon in Memorial Park, which is the sort of town city park, I guess. And yeah, we'll talk about this dress next. So, but let me tell my story about the photo shoot. So we did it in Beacon, and there's like all these picnic areas. Melisha stole the show. Thanks. Oh, you guys. So yeah, Melisha was working it. So we did them in Memorial Park, and we really wanted to do a picnic theme, obviously. And so yeah, I had a bunch of little props and stuff. I went running around that day in the like 100-degree heat to get little sparkling lemonade and brought the picnic basket and all of that. And it was tough because shooting in summer light can be really hard, especially when there are a lot of trees around like that. So when we first got there, it was like very dappled and like the light wasn't really working. Didn't I tell you guys the story already? And then I feel like I'm having deja vu. And then it got really dark. So some of the final images that we shot were just like too grainy. So, we did what we could. And yeah, I think the images came out great. So yeah, it was really fun to be shooting together again. Oh, the picture of us in the sunglasses. Yeah, I mean, I did tell Melisha, I was like, why didn't you tell me that you were like working it so hard in that picture? Because Melisha is like this. She's like model, and she's going like this. And she's wearing these really fierce sunglasses, and her hip is like up here, and she looks amazing. And I'm just standing there like this. I was like, how dare you? Why did you do that to me? So yeah, I'll put it up on my Instagram sometime soon so you guys can see the difference between Melisha working it and me working it. And I will say, shout out to Lux Optique yet again, who loaned us those yellow sunglasses. Because when Melisha put them on, she suddenly turned into like Naomi Campbell. She was like fierce. She was like, every pose was like beyond. It's true. Yeah, and I was like this. Melisha's like this. It was great. So let's see. Were there any more questions? We're all awkward sometimes. I mean, I didn't think I was that awkward. But yeah, she did great. Someone's asking about darts. I made a mock-up of the top and I can't seem to get the front darts to lay right. Yeah, I would say, you know, and I did mention this in the video, that if you're seeing any bubbling around the darts, it usually means that the darts aren't pointed in the right direction. So you should be looking for your apex, right? Which is basically your nipple. And is the dart pointed exactly towards your apex, or is it slightly off? If it's slightly off, you will be getting bubbling around the bust, like down here. And the other thing you want to look for is the dart too long or too short? Okay, you want it to extend to the apex, but not go on top of the apex, and also not be like several inches short. So the rule of thumb is that the dart can end anywhere from an inch to like an inch and a half. It's a range, you know. It's hard to, sometimes it's hard to give fitting advice virtually because it can be different for different people and everyone's body is different. But I would say if you're seeing bubbling around the bust, it's usually the direction the dart is pointing in and or the length of the dart. How do you tell if you need it longer or shorter? I'm always so confused about that. Well, I will say, like, if you're seeing bubbling, then it's probably one or the other. It's not really very helpful, is it? But check to see that it's in that range, so that it ends within an inch to an inch and a half of the apex. And if it's bubbling and it's not in that range, then it needs to be either longer or shorter. So I know that's really vague, but it's just one of those things. Sorry. I know, it's like trying to give virtual fitting advice while not actually looking at the thing we're talking about. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Any classes this September? So no, actually no classes this year at all. I'm canceling them all essentially. And if you're waiting to hear back from me about September and October retreats, I'm sorry, but I just got back from vacation, literally. So I will send you an email and we'll talk about your options for refunds or rolling over your registration. But because of the situation in the US, it's just like not safe to travel long distances. And most people come from out of state for my retreats. So yeah, I think it's the right choice too. It's just not worth it this year. And in New York, we have mandatory quarantines for most people coming from out of state. So it just, I mean, it wouldn't make sense. So it is what it is. And hopefully we'll be back to having in-person workshops next year. But I mean, the positive thing is that this has all allowed me to focus on video a lot more. And hopefully you've noticed how much video I've been uploading. It's been a lot more. 14-day retreat. 14-day quarantine retreat. So we'll just all like come together in a quarantine and we'll just see who makes it out alive. We'll get a lot of like snacks and we'll just sew, and then hopefully no one will show any symptoms. I love it. Yeah, so next year. Hopefully, I mean, we'll rent an island. Survival of the fittest. All right, should we talk about this dress? Because you guys have been asking. So if you didn't see, oh my God, Colin, you guys are cracking me up. Okay, yeah. So whoever survives wins the retreat. That's how it's gonna work. A sewing island. So this dress is. Oh, oh my gosh, look at me. so prepared. This is Polynesian Patterns 121. And I actually talked about making this a couple weeks ago before I went on vacation. And I was like, I think I'm just going to make something just for fun, just for me. I just haven't done that in so long because it seems like everything I make is for a pattern release. So I was like, I'm just going to try something. And I couldn't find this pattern on Etsy. I ended up finding it on Amazon, which is so weird, but there are some vintage sellers on Amazon of all places, and I managed to find this in my size, which is the 34-36 bust. So it's a really cool, this is a Hawaiian design and it has a fitted front. So I don't know if you can see, this is like a V band that continues around to the back and sort of dips low. And then the back is very loose and gathered. And the front is fitted with princess seams. Yeah, I'll show the bra back. So this is fitted with princess seams. So over the bust, it's quite fitted, and over the hip as well. This front panel wraps around to right here. This is where it seams to the back. And instead of a side seam, there's a fisheye dart, so a double-ended dart at the side seam to contour the side seam rather than having a shaped side seam. Okay, so that's, you have a front that's like a sheath dress with princess seams, and the back that's essentially like a cape, right? And so the way you get it to do this thing where you can see it kind of cinching in here is there's an interior, just gonna embarrass this poor dress form, interior bra back. So this is what's called a bra repair kit, and Dritz makes them. I ended up adding elastic to this side. When you buy the kit, there's only elastic on one side, and then this side is like static, no elastic. But I added some elastic to this side because I felt when I looked at the vintage illustrations, it looked like there was a longer piece of elastic. So I didn't know if I was getting the same like bra repair kit that you would have gotten in the 60s. And from the illustrations, it looked like it had a longer piece of elastic. And then when I went to cinch it the first time, I was like, why is this only coming to like a 26-inch waist measurement? So I added some more elastic. And this is, so you make these little like side stays out of the fabric. This is a pattern piece. And then it essentially gets seamed in to the side seam, which, as I mentioned, is actually like towards the back, right? So you have to put it on and then kind of like reach under your dress and then hook yourself up. So it's really cool. It's very comfortable because of the elastic and also because you have some adjustability here. You can put it on either one of these hooks, which is nice. But that's what, it's so funny because you're putting this dress together and you're like, oh, I'm making a muumuu. And then you put it on and you cinch the back and it like totally conforms to the front. So you get like a cinch here and the princess seams like do their work. And I love the shape of this princess seam, by the way, because it has a very, I don't know if you can tell, but it has a very bullet kind of shape to it. And then this is where that bra back is pulling in and like creating this sort of flowing cape-like effect. So I made it in rayon. It's like super comfortable and really, just really flowy and nice to wear. Did I answer all your questions? Oh my gosh, it was so comfortable. So I wore it out to dinner, and we went to Sal's Place, I think it's called, which is my favorite place to eat in P-Town, and it's Italian food. And I don't know why, but they decided they really liked my group of friends at this restaurant. And they brought us all these free appetizers, like Italian food, like it's like, you know, like rich Italian food. And I ate so much and it felt fine. It felt great. It was super comfortable. I did lower the neckline in the front. So one thing I was a little annoyed about the pattern because, and I will say too, guys, and you can gang up on me for this, but I did not make a muslin because I really didn't have time. And I did a very intense tissue fitting. I will say that. So, which is a lot of what I do in my workshops is tissue fitting. And so I knew it was going to fit. I didn't know if it was going to look good. So I kind of took a chance with it, and it was just sort of one of those things where I was like, I want to experiment with this and just give it a try. So one of the things, where's the pink rolling pin? I know, guys. But I did a tissue fitting, okay? I was tissue fitted by a professional myself. So what was I gonna say next? Oh, the neckline. Okay, so one of the things that annoyed me about the pattern, and I should have caught this. Oh, look, I have the yoke right here. Can you tell I haven't cleaned up since I got into this whole project? Here is the front yoke piece. Okay, so, and here is the pattern. Can you guys see her yoke? So what's wrong with this is that in the illustration, it looks like the yoke is the same width the entire way down, right? And the pattern piece is technically the same width from here to here. But what happens when you do that is that even if this piece right here is 2.5 inches, then at center front, it becomes like 4.5 inches. So you need, if you want it to be 2.5 inches tall at center front, you basically need to angle it from center front. So you need to lower it. Hattie's having a dream, by the way, if you hear little noises. Now she's quiet. Oh, it was really cute. Can you guys hear it? I want to like put a microphone on her. Okay, she's not going to do it. So it should be like 2.5 inches up from center front and then angle up to 2.5 inches at the side here. Because when I made it, it was then like, it looked so big and tall at this center front point, and I was not happy. So I ended up having to go back and make it lower, and now I'm happy with it. You hear her? Okay, good. She's dreaming about squirrels. So yeah, so that's it. I'm really happy with how it came out. I put it in my stories, and as I mentioned in my post today, I was just like totally inundated with requests for this pattern. And the thing that makes me laugh the most is that I'll get requests for the pattern, but then with modifications already. So it's like, I haven't even, like, this is not even a pattern of ours. This is just a vintage pattern, but I've already gotten requests to make it beginner friendly, make it maternity, make sure that there are length and shorten lines on it. So yeah, I've gotten plenty of requests, and you guys crack me up. Shorter version as well. Yeah, so I've gotten many, many requests for the modifications that I should make to this pattern that we don't currently have plans of making, but you guys have been really gung-ho about it, and I did put up a little poll in my stories today. So if you want to make your voice heard, you want this pattern, you want us to make it, I would love to make it as a pattern. I have lots of ideas for what I would do with it. I think it could use a little more drama in the back. Obviously, I would reshape the neckline. It would need different, neckline options, different length options. So yeah, I would give you what you want. A maternity version, probably not. But you love it the way it is? Okay, perfect. And it would really benefit from cup sizes and plus sizes. I mean, this is why we do what we do at Charm Patterns, which is what I told someone on Facebook today, is like, I had several people mention that they've wanted this pattern for a long time, but it only goes up to a 38-inch bust. And I mean, that right there is like pretty much why I have been doing this for like 12 years, is because vintage patterns are beautiful, but they are also, they're expensive. They don't come in a wide range of sizes. People were smaller back then. They never had cup sizes. The construction can be finicky. Like this one, for instance, like you have to finish this entire inside yoke. The yoke is lined, like self-lined. That entire thing is done by hand. When like I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, we could do like half of this by machine and like just make it cleaner on the inside. Whereas I think a lot of vintage patterns will just be like, sew the inner yoke by hand. It's just like, okay, but isn't there like a cleaner way to do that? So I mean, that's why I've been writing books and designing for Butterick, and now doing Charm Patterns and Patreon. That's why we do this. So yeah, so I would be super excited to give it the charm treatment, as I said today, which basically means me changing the things I don't like about the design and the construction and making sure it's available in a good wide range of sizes with cup sizes. So yeah, we get greedy. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I always did it for myself, to be honest. Like I've always struggled with the fit of vintage patterns and, the cost of vintage patterns and all of that. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. And we have been deep in talks today, with Melisha, with our pattern maker and grader about what we have coming up for Charm. And there's a lot of really exciting stuff coming up. So stay tuned. All right. Is there anything else you want to know about that dress, about the Polynesian pattern? I think, I finished it in my hotel room. So I had this idea for some reason. I would do a lot of sewing on vacation, because before vacation, I was like making a lot of stuff, and I like was already feeling like withdrawal. Like I was like, I want to make this and this and this, and I won't have access to a sewing machine in P-Town. So I like packed my sewing machine, my serger, a bunch of fabric, patterns, and then this dress, which wasn't quite done yet, still needed finishing. So I took it all with me. And then both places we stayed didn't have like even a desk for me to put the sewing machine on. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not sewing. And also, by the time I got there, I was like, okay, actually, I don't want to sew. I was like, actually, I just want to like go to the beach and knit and stuff my face with ice cream and all that stuff. So I ended up, but I did have to finish that dress. So I ended up sitting on the bed and putting the sewing machine on my nightstand in the hotel room. And it was not a comfortable setup. I will just tell you that. And that's how I finished that dress. Yeah, I am. Okay. So should we talk about knitting? Oh, are we going to add the larger cup sizes to the night and day? We are in the process of extending night and day to our current Charm Pattern size range. So just give us a little time with that, because we need to do a little more testing in the larger sizes. So, and people have asked about Rita too, which we have also been working on, and that one will be coming first. So let me just get my bearings again after vacation, and we're going to get all that coming to you. So don't worry. Knitting on the table. Okay, yeah, so let's talk about knitting. So I have been working on a new jailbird in pink and black. Look how cute. So this is Poison Girl's Jailbird blouse. So I also made this one in Kobasi DK weight, which is a cotton, bamboo, silk, and elastane blend, which is what I made my last pink and white one in. So knitting is a mystery to me. I used the same yarn and the same needle size, went down a size, and it doesn't really fit that much smaller. It actually looks like it fits. The gauge looks bigger. I don't know. I'm confused. So yeah, I'm excited, but I feel like this one is super like Barbie inspired. So I finished the ribbing on the bottom. I did a little bit less ribbing on the bottom, mostly because I ran out of yarn, and now I have to get, I don't know why I only bought 3 skeins of black. I need more to be able to do the neckband and the armbands. So yeah, I'm very excited. This is probably my favorite design that I've knit so far. So I was like really ready to make another one. And it's, for me, this was a really fun knit because I'm not an experienced garment knitter, any kind of knitter. So I just, on vacation, I was like, I just want something like easy, stress-free, not like Rizzo. You guys know I had a nightmare with Rizzo. Rizzo is like in the corner of shame right now. I finished it and like folded it up. It's done. It's done. I just haven't done anything with it because I'm mad at it. As Melisha said, she's like, "Are you still mad at it?" I'm mad about it. So I also want to make a black pencil skirt, a Stanwick skirt to go with it to take pictures. So I'll do that. I'll get over it. Bad Rizzo. And yes, I'm doing the Joanie knit along, which is the new Poison Girls design inspired by Joan from Mad Men. And I am finally happy with my color scheme. So if you guys look at Amy's page, Poison Girls, this sweater has like a lot of different colored stripes. And it's inspired by one that Joan wore on Mad Men. It's like very early 60s, has some nautical vibes to it. And it's made in this little tiny, tiny yarn. And this is my 3rd swatch that I've done for it. There's a knit along going on now, and it's like in week 3, and I'm obviously behind. But I did 2 swatches. Wasn't totally happy with the colors. And I had to, so I did a in the round swatch, guys, which is where you kind of like float your yarns on the back. So you knit 1 row and then you move your work to the other, back to the other side, and then start again and basically like float the yarn on the back so that you end up knitting every row instead of knit, purl to get stockinette stitch. And the reason for that, this is all new to me too, guys. The reason for that is that in the round, for stockinette stitch, you're knitting every round, and people tend to have a different tension when they're knitting versus when they're purling. So you get the best representation of your gauge by knitting every round, just like you will be for the sweater itself. So yeah, I don't really know how this is all going to work either. My plan is to just kind of cast on and start. I've never done a cable before. I've never done raglan before. So this could be another Rizzo situation, but I'm happy. I'm happy with my colors. So this is like a blush pink on the top, and then red, a deep navy, ivory, and then this like really pretty medium blue. It's easier than it looks. Okay, that's good to hear. So yeah, I'm very excited. So the pink will be at the top, and then the bottom will be that very deep navy color. So I was excited to do like a nautical look, but with pink. Not as scary as I think. All right, well, I'll probably cast on tonight. I started watching Making the Cut, the Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum fashion show on Amazon Prime. Have you guys watched that? So I have a lot to watch, and I just watched episode 1 last night. Man, talk about a big budget. The first episode, they like flew the contestants to Paris. They did a fashion show in front of the Eiffel Tower. The grand prize is $1 million. I was like, gosh, when were auditions for this show? So yeah, great show. I love Tim. I don't know if you like read my blog from way back. You know, I've been a long time fan of Tim Gunn. So yeah, excited to have him back on my screen again. So we'll cast on tonight. Though it's hard to knit and watch that show at the same time because I'm like, I need to be watching. So many of them didn't know how to sew. Yeah, I know. There was a lot of that. All right, everyone. Did we catch up on everything? Did I go over everything? It's a make it work moment. This is a make it work moment. Yeah, so I've met Tim Gunn a couple times. You can see my picture with him on my old blog from like 10 years ago because I used to work in publishing and I worked for the company that published his books. And so we had an employee book signing in the Simon & Schuster offices, which was super exciting. And having been a Tim Gunn fan from way back, I had his ALA poster, you know, the Read posters that are in libraries. I had the Tim Gunn Read poster in my office. So I had him sign it for me. And he seemed very bemused by the fact that I had a poster of him and I was bringing it to him to sign. And he said he liked my dress that I made. So that was really sweet. All right. We should all meet up in Paris. I know. At this time last year, I was like just coming home from my first trip to Paris. And now it's like, are Americans ever going to be able to go anywhere ever again? Did I get gauge? Great question. I had to go down to a size 2 needle, which I tried to avoid because it seems really small. But yeah, size 3, I'm getting 6.5 stitches per inch. So I went down to a size 2, and I'm now getting gauge. So yeah. He is a genius. All right. So I think that's everything. It's been really fun to see you guys again. It's been so long. It's been like 2 weeks. The other thing I wanted to say is we are going to be announcing the like Patreon live events probably tomorrow. I'll put up a post about that on Patreon. So I'm going to do a crowdcast and I'll do one of my little PowerPoint presentations. I thought it'd be fun to look at some of the inspiration for the picnic set because I have some great images that you guys are going to like die over. So that'll be a crowdcast presentation. And then we'll also do a Zoom sewing circle. I didn't sew the caftans for my friends because, as I mentioned, I got like super lazy about sewing. And also my friends got like super lazy about just doing anything other than eating ice cream. But I need to make it happen for next time because caftans in P-Town are like a thing and it needs to happen for all of us. So maybe next year. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. I've missed you all. And I'll come back and do another YouTube as soon as I can, but I definitely have a lot to catch up on here. So do stay tuned for those Patreon dates because it's going to be really fun. All right, everyone. I'll see you next time. And I missed you. So thank you for coming. Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Make a muslin. Don't be like me, or I'll beat you with a rolling pin. All right, guys, you're the best. I'll see you next time. And goodbye.